Everybody, it's Kyle Daniels with Vista Sotheby's International Realty, bringing you the weekly update for Friday, March 11th, 2022. This is our South Bay Palos Verdes weekly update, and we're going to jump right into the numbers. You know, you've heard the theme. We're definitely looking at low inventory out there. So we're seeing the same stuff and at an even higher level than we did a year ago. So let's illustrate that in numbers. Right now, there were only 97 new listings, which is right around that 100 mark that we like. We had a big uptick last week. We couldn't sustain it for a second week. So again, constrained inventory is leading to these bidding wars. Now we had 99 closed sales this past week. And you know, if you've been following along, I love to track and see where things are going. We had a drop off after a record number of luxury home sales that were over 3 million last week. We're down to just 7 this past week. Now, don't worry, I'm not sounding the alarm bells. It's really a function of limited inventory out there. Sure, there's some very expensive homes sitting on the market on the Strand, Palos Verdes, and Rolling Hills, but that's always been the case that those higher priced homes typically take longer to sell. It's not uncommon for it to be on the market for up to a year. Now, we did see 78% of the listings sell at the asking price or higher, and most of those were higher. Now, we did see a few just close right at asking, and then we did see 22 sell below the asking price. Again, most of those are selling in a pretty tight range, or they had been on the market for a long time. So that's robust buying activity, willing to pay over the list price. In fact, again, if you're looking at a home, don't expect to get it at the asking price because we just don't see that very often. Now, new escrows, we did see 125 new escrows, which basically means that all that new inventory that came out last week got gobbled up in the past week. We had 13 price reductions, which is about average with what we're seeing, and then we had 8 homes fall out of escrow this past week. Now let's talk about the overall inventory situation. When you look at the Palos Verdes Peninsula, as I talked about earlier this week in the Hill Report, we're at only about a quarter of normal inventory if you look at the trend over the past few years. Now, even compared to a year ago, if we look at the whole South Bay, we're down 30% compared to a year ago, which means throughout the whole South Bay right now, there's less than 500 homes for sale. And that's, if you looked at it, we put this up on a graph, and maybe I'll load it later up on Instagram, look and see, you'll see it's just been a steady decline. In fact, I was talking to a client earlier, we're going on a full 10 years of recovery since we hit the bottom of the market in summer of 2012. So that's 10 years of recovery of steady real estate sales. That's price increase while inventory has dropped. The last thing I want to point out to you as we get into these volatile times with what's going on in Russia and the sad situation there in Ukraine and rising oil, we had inflation hit an even higher level for the last, reported this last week by the government for our tracking. I believe that was January or February's numbers. People are taking good money and putting it into real estate. So when people are wondering, is it a good time to invest with all this volatility in the stock market? The question I'll ask you is, where else are you going to put your money? If you are in the stock market and things are going up and down and you don't have the stomach for that, real estate seems like a very safe investment. We have a true supply-demand imbalance, and if you're an investor and you're looking to place your money, or if you're not an investor per se in real estate, but you want to put your money into a stable asset, you're seeing a flight to quality, and that's quality real estate. Fortunately, here in the South Bay and Palos Verdes, we have a lot of quality real estate, so just not a lot for sale. That's it for this week. Have a great weekend. As always, if I can help out, please reach out. In the meantime, keep your head up. If you're looking for a home, you'll find something if you keep trying, and have a great weekend. Take care.